right, guys, today for social studies, you again need to get those notebooks out because we are taking notes on the architecture in Egypt. So I'm just going to present and exit out of that so it's out of the way. Again, if you need more time to write the notes down, the beauty of these videos is you can pause me whenever you need to. So, architecture in Egypt. Egyptians made it easier for us to learn about how they lived and what they believed by constructing buildings that lasted, and many ancient structures remain today. So, because they were able to make buildings that were able to withstand any kind of weather or honestly humans touring and looking at them all these years, then we are able to learn more about how they lived and what they believed. So, moving on, again, if you need more time, just pause the video. The average home did not last due to sandstorms, robbers, and other destructive forces. It was made from mud brick that dried in the sun. They were usually more than one story. The first story was for business, so whatever job the father had, this is where he would most likely complete that job. The second and third stories were their living space, and then the underground cellar was storage. So if you have a basement for storage, or even just a basement in general, you have a house that's kind of similar to the houses in Egypt. Famous Egyptian buildings, massive stone pyramids. The Great Pyramid at Giza still stands today. That's the pyramid in this picture. They were built as tombs for pharaohs, which we learned about. They were made out of limestone and granite, and the pyramids are one of the 7 wonders of the world. So I'll give you a couple of seconds to copy that down. Again, if you need to, pause the video. Okay. Famous Egyptian buildings. The Great Pyramid at Giza was built for the pharaoh Khufu. The second largest pyramid was built for Khufu's son, Khafra. The third and smallest pyramid was built for Menkaru, the last pharaoh of the 4th dynasty. Okay, a couple seconds. Or you can pause the video, whatever you want. The pyramids at Giza, so this is just showing you. So here's Khufu's, the first one, and then his son Khafra's, and then the smallest one for Menkaure. The Great Sphinx was a large human-headed lion. Was carved from natural rock. The Great Sphinx is located in Giza. It guards the front of Khafra's pyramid. It stands 66 feet high and is 240 feet long. That is a tall and long structure. Conservation of the Sphinx started as early as 1400 BC and ended in 1989. The Sphinx was constructed in the 4th dynasty, so from 2575 BC to 2467 BC by the pharaoh Khafra. However, an accumulating body of evidence, both archaeological and geological, indicates that the Sphinx is far older than the 4th dynasty. Interesting. And it was only actually restored by Khafra during his reign. So what restored means is for example, let's say there's a really old house. And let's say it was built in 1800. And the house is starting to fall apart. Now it's like 1875, right? And the house is falling apart, and someone else comes along and finds the house and decides to restore it or rebuild it so that the house is now livable. Technically, the house was still built in 1800. It was just restored later in 1875. So that's kind of what's happening here. So this was only restored during Khafre's reign. Oh, how the pyramids were built. There's many theories. One of those theories is that it was built by thousands of slaves. It was built by everyday Egyptians. Yes, this is a true theory. Obviously, I don't mean that this is what happened. I mean that there is a theory that says the pyramids were built by other life forms, which is why this little funny picture is here. And then we have took 20,000 workers between 10 to 20 years to build the Great Pyramid. Technology used to build the pyramids has been lost to time. Okay, so I'll give you a couple seconds or pause. Make sure you're writing everything down. Again, you will have a quiz on Thursday. 3 types of pyramids. We have a ziggurat. We are familiar with ziggurats. They are made of mud bricks. They look like giant steps, and they are known as step pyramids. So again, remember those ziggurats have all these steps right here going up and down. A pylon. A pylon was one of the terms in your Quizlet a couple weeks ago. This is a large wall decorated with carvings, and it stood at the entrance of temples. So this one's cool looking. It has all of these little designs on it. And an obelisk. This is a stone column, wider at the base and rose to a point. So here, it's wide at the base, and then all the way up here, it rises to a point. It's used as ancient message boards. It's inscribed with names of ancient rulers and religious events, and it's engraved with hieroglyphs about sun worship. So here's all the hieroglyphs. So if you're following the mouse, you can see them. And that was our last slide. So we got through that pretty quick. Again, the beauty of this video is that you can pause when I'm talking whenever you need to make sure you get all the notes down. There will be a quiz on Thursday. Again, completely open notes. And I will tell you, it is all true or false. So if you have all of your notes down word for word correctly, you should have no problem getting 100 on this quiz, which I think most of us were able to do last time. So please continue to do that this time. Some of us, it was quite clear that we did not take the notes and we just went and took the quiz, and our grade really suffered for it. So again, take the notes today. The quiz will be Thursday. Let me know if you have any questions.